This is the Squier Paranormal Series Toronado in a beautiful Lake Placid blue. I think it looks awesome, but how does it play and how does it sound? Let's find out. Hey, I'm Landon. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't already, just take a moment to subscribe to my channel and click a like on this video if you do like the video. All right, this video is going to be a full walkthrough and like a deep dive. We're going to see everything about this guitar that I picked up recently. If you haven't seen my original unboxing video, take a look at that and you can see what it looks like when it's taken out of the package and my initial impressions. And I've had a bit more time to play with it, so just so you know, I bought this out of pocket, so this review is completely unbiased and you can take my word. I can just say pretty much anything about it. If you haven't seen my other videos before, just know that everything's broken up into sections in the timestamps. You can take a look below if you're just looking for a certain thing about this guitar. First, I'll do a quick walkthrough and just talk about the specs briefly. After that, we'll get into a deep dive, and that's where I actually open up the guitar. I take measurements, I take readings. I think deep dive is the best description of what exactly I'm doing. I'm going over everything and checking out the guitar in full detail. Then we'll move on and hear it. I'll plug it in to my AC-15 and we'll hear it through clean tones and dirty tones. Get a sense of what these pickups can do and what this guitar can sound like. Then at the end of the video, I'll do a summary with pros and cons and my wrap up and if I recommend the guitar or not. So let's get into the quick walkthrough. Again, this is just a quick walk down the guitar, showing the basically what you get with it. So it's a reissue of a Fender guitar called the Toronado, which was around in the late 90s. And they've recreated it for the Squier Paranormal series. So what you've got here is an offset body. The neck appears to be like a Jazzmaster style headstock and neck. It's an offset, like I said, just looking quickly down. It's got vintage style tuners. The fretboard is an Indian Laurel. It's a C-shape, 9.5-inch radius. If these specs are wrong, I'll correct it later in the full detailed walkthrough. You've got a tortoise pickguard, got two humbucker pickups, 3-way selector, and you've got a volume and a tone for each pickup. So it's kind of like a Les Paul style. And the control cavities on the back there, if you want to get into it. And this one's in a beautiful Lake Placid blue. This one got me when I saw a video on Anderton's, and when I saw the pictures of it online on Fender's site and on I think Sweetwater, and it just sold me. It's one of these guitars that I bought based on looks, and it sounded okay in the video too, so we'll get into that later. So yeah, that's a quick overview. So let's go into the full deep dive. All right, here we go. First thing I always do, take the weight of the guitar, and when I did the unboxing, I knew this thing was super light right away. It's 3.34 kilos. It's 7.35 pounds. Super light. I love it. I love that weight. To me, that's a perfect weight. Next, we're doing the resistance measurements. On the neck, we got 9.88. Neck and middle, 5.95. If you see it fluctuate, that's because my fingers are touching it. And then the bridge is a crazy 14.99 kilo ohms. And this is my multimeter. So you can see it's a pretty hot bridge pickup. I just wanted to show here the knobs, which I was really impressed with. These aren't typically the knobs you would find on a Squier guitar, at least on the ones that I've played in the past. These are standard Fender Telecaster knobs with the little screw attachment to attach it to the pot. And the ones I'm used to are the plastic ones that just kind of pop off with pressure. So just showing that quickly how they attach and detach. So now we're going inside the guitar. This is the jack. Ferrule jack, which I didn't realize was the term for the jack. I always just called it an input jack or an output jack, but it's a ferrule. So it's got 2 screws. It's just in the side here, and we're just going to pop it open briefly to take a look at the wiring inside, and we can take a look here. So like I mentioned, 2 screws. Try not to rip it out. And there's the inside. You're looking inside. What else? What do you expect? It's exactly what you'd think it'd be. Nothing surprising. But I always like to look in all the different cavities and all the different spots on these guitars. So taking a look at the back, this is kind of like something you'd find on a Les Paul. You got your control cavity or pot cavity or whatever you want to call it on the back. And it's got 4 pots on the inside. These are full-size pots. I can't remember the name of that brand. It's not CTS, it's not Alpha. It's the other guys. So I don't know. It's the President's Choice of pots. That's a Canadian joke. If you get it, leave me a comment. Let me know. So there you go. That's the wiring. It's not pretty, but it's functional. And it's nice that they used full-size pots and not the little cheap mini ones. And putting it back together, I'm going to flip it over here. Just taking a look at it quickly there. All right, the next part, so I want to get inside the pickguard. I'm just going to loosen the strings so I can lift it up. And as I was doing that, I found a small little defect, and we're going to look at it really close up here. And I wouldn't have found it if I hadn't taken the strings off, because it's kind of hidden. So you be the judge on what this is. It looks like a scrape. I tried to wipe it off. It's definitely like a little dig into the finish. Could have happened when they were cutting the nut or something like that. But when you got the string on, it's very not noticeable. I forgive that. It's a Squier guitar. It's the kind of thing I would expect to find on this. And it's the only blemish. So anyways, I just took the screws off there, pulling up the pickguard. Super clean inside here. And you can see, usually I notice I'm looking for shielding paint. In this case, they're humbuckers. I don't think shielding paint is really needed, right? And you can see that there isn't. They've basically just done the whole finish. It looks like they cut the body first and then did the spray. So, and just flipping it over here. Very simple wiring. You got your Johnny 5 switch from Short Circuit. If you get that reference, I don't know. Is that too far out there? I like that these the pickups are labeled B for bridge and N for neck. That helps because you don't want to mix them up if you did have them unwired and you were working with them. So just some more close-ups here. You can see the shininess. They definitely sprayed it after they'd cut it. Just going around, more close-ups here. And I just kind of like to catch all the different angles of everything. If you notice anything, you have any questions, let me know. It looks all pretty straightforward to me. So just popping it back on here. Nice and simple, putting the screws back in. Really easy to get back on, really easy to get off as well. And then just putting the screws, sorry, not the screws, just putting the strings back on these vintage style tuners, which makes it really easy, except when you do this and you get them all tangled up at the bottom. Drives me nuts. All right, while you're distracted by all these beautiful close-ups, I'm going to read over Fender's official specs from their site. So this is a poplar body. That's the body material. And again, the body shape is a Toronado. It's a gloss polyurethane finish. The neck is maple. It's also got a glossy polyurethane finish on the neck. It's a C shape. Scale length is 24.75 inch. The fretboard is Indian Laurel, not Indian Yanny. And it looks a lot like a rosewood. It's very dark, and I like that. It's not like the Pau Ferro, which I find is a bit lighter. Fingerboard radius, 9.5 inch. 22 narrow tall frets. Some people don't like the narrow tall, but I think they're okay. Synthetic bone for the nut. The nut width is 1.650 inches. Perloy dot inlays. Single action head adjust truss rod. These pickups, they're dual atomic humbucking. So I don't know what atomic refers to exactly, but it's a cool name anyways. Yeah, 3-way selector. Yeah, I showed that already. Humbucker. 6 saddle string through body hardtail. It's a unique looking hardtail bridge. Has like kind of a sort of an angled look. Vintage style tuning machines, knurled flat top control knobs, 4-bolt Squier neck plate, and 4-ply tortoise shell pickguard. So there you go. And before we get into the tones of the guitar, you can skip ahead if you want to, but here's the weird plastic peeling for those of you that like it. enjoyed that deep dive. I definitely like going into the guitars and taking a look at the hardware inside. And it's always a mystery, right? You don't know what you're going to get, especially with different price levels of guitar. I gotta say the Squier line is definitely impressing me lately with what they're putting inside, especially this one even more recently. This is my pros and cons section. I'll go over the pros that I have for this. The first thing is the low price. Of the all the Paranormal series guitars, this is one of the lower price ones. In Canada, it's $489 as of making this video, and I think in the US it was $349. You saw the weight. To me, that's a huge pro. Just over 7 pounds is amazing. It's super comfortable to pick up. If a guitar is too heavy, I'm not going to pick it up. It's going to be the one that just hangs or sits in a case and less likely to get played. So low weight in my books is a good thing. The one thing that got me right away was the beautiful neck and just the work that was done on it. I recently actually returned a Fender Player Jazzmaster, and it had a Pau Ferro neck, and the fretwork and the ends were terrible. And just compared to that, seeing this is very impressive. Really, really nice work on the neck. Just overall fit and finish is really nice, which is another one of my pros, just the overall fit and finish. There's a couple little nitpicky things that I'm going to point out, but overall, really, really nice. I really have no complaints. No major complaints. Also, I haven't played it a ton, but of the two pickups, I'm really liking the neck pickup, even with gain. It's interesting because usually the neck is, especially a neck humbucker, typically you're going to have it more muddy, and there's something different about this one. So definitely want to play around with it more and see if I continue to like it. Now let's move into the cons. And again, this is all, I'll mention the pros and cons. It's all personal taste, right? So one of my cons is I don't love the bridge pickup tones. Maybe I just haven't dialed in something yet. Sometimes you have to find the right formula. It could be the pedals I'm using. It could be the way I have the amp set up. So we'll see. The pickups squeal with high gain. And I know the term microphonic gets thrown around. I think that's more when you can actually yell into a pickup and it picks up your voice. I don't know if these are potted. I'm going to guess they're not because of the high squeal. That to me is not a good thing. It's worth noting though. So if you buy this guitar and you're planning to pump a ton of overdrive or dirt into it, just know that you might have problems. So it's not a big deal for me because I'm typically a mild gain or clean player. So it's not a bad thing for me, but it is a con, and it is worth noting. I don't know if you spotted it when I was doing the close-up. Maybe I already mentioned it. There was a finish defect right behind the nut here, and you would not notice it when it's strung up, but it could have been something that was done when the nut was being cut, or I can't really say exactly what, but I thought it was dirt at first, but it's definitely a little nick in the finish. So, I mean, for this kind of guitar, it's not unexpected, and I'm not really upset by that, but it's worth noting. You might find a few little things. The second thing, I don't know if I can demo it very well here. The ferrules are not perfectly flat. They're good enough. Like, you won't really notice it unless you're looking for things like I'm doing for this video. But other than that, overall, yeah, really good guitar. That's it for my cons. I really don't have anything else to complain about. And that's where I'm going to turn it over to you. Let me know if you've played this guitar. Let me know if you've played the original Fender model and how it compares. There's not that many videos online. I know somebody did one recently where they had the original and they put it up against this. Didn't seem to be that much of a difference, but that's all personal, right? Yeah, so this was the only guitar in the Paranormal series that actually caught my eye and that I wanted to get and try out. So I'm definitely happy I got it. Would I recommend it? Yes. I think it's exactly what you can expect. Beautiful looking, plays really well. Like the neck is super comfortable. If you don't like glossy finishes, you won't like this. That's that's a personal thing. Yeah, overall, super good guitar. I would recommend this one. It looks and plays as good as it looks. That's not a thing. In the beginning, I said it looks amazing, but how does it sound and how does it play? I think it looks amazing and it plays really well. And I think it sounds decent. I'm not going to say it sounds amazing because I've got other guitars here that I think sound a lot better. So is it that I just didn't find the right dialed in tone yet? Maybe these pickups aren't for me. We'll see. If you did want to get the guitar for yourself, I got it locally in a store here in Ottawa called Fleet Pro Sound. I'll put a link to their website. I have no affiliation with them, but if you want to check them out, if you are local, really nice store, really, really friendly staff. I also have some affiliate links, Amazon and Thomann, depending what part of the world you're in, if you were looking at buying it online. I know there's some people that don't like buying guitars online, so it's cool, whatever works for you. Yeah, so just leave me your feedback below, what you think about this guitar. What do you think about the Paranormal series? And what do you think about anything? I don't care. Just leave me a comment. Say hi. I'll say hi back. That's going to do it for this video. I hope this was helpful. Again, this was the Toronado from the Paranormal series from Squier, made by Fender, crafted in China, made on Earth. I don't know why I said all that. Who cares? That's going to be it for this video. If you didn't already, click a like on the video, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications so you can know about videos like this coming out, and I don't have to bug you about it, and you'll just know about it. All right, that's going to do it. As always, play guitar and have fun, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Oh my God, it's so hot. It's a sauna. A sauna, a sauna, a sauna, a sauna, a sauna, a sauna.